Attention is the most expensive currency on the internet. And right now, people are paying for clarity, speed, and results, which means you know something useful, you can explain it well, you're sitting on a product, whether you realize it or not. Because selling knowledge online is not about being the smartest person in the room, it's about being one of the or two steps ahead of someone else and packaging that gap in a way that feels valuable, actionable and worth paying for. And the biggest misconception that stops people is thinking they need to be an expert with credentials, when in reality, the market rewards people who can simply organize and deliver the outcome, not just information. So, the first shift you need to make is understanding that knowledge becomes more sellable and the moment it saves someone time, makes them money, or removes the frustration. And that means your life experience, your skills, your hobbies, and even the mistakes can all be turned into digital products if positioned correctly. Because people don't buy raw information, they buy transformation. They buy shortcuts and they buy confidence and that they're moving in the right direction. So instead of asking what you know, ask what problems you can solve and how quickly you can help someone get from point A to point B. And once you identify that, you've already done the hardest part. Now, the next step is choosing how to package that knowledge because there are multiple formats and each one serves a different level of depth and commitment. And for example, short form content like ebooks or guides work well for quick wins and entry level buyers, while video courses allow you to go deeper and charge more because you're providing a structured learning experience. And then you have coaching or consulting, which is the highest level because it's personalized and outcome driven. But here's where most people mess up. They try to create everything at once instead of starting with one clear offer. And the smartest move is to validate demand before you build anything complicated, which means you should test your idea by sharing content around it, talking about it, and seeing if people engage, ask questions, or show interest. Because attention is proof of demand. And if no one cares about your topic, it doesn't matter how good your product is, it won't even sell. So you want to build in public, create posts, videos, or threads where you teach small pieces of your knowledge and pay attention to what resonates because those responses are telling you exactly what people are willing to pay for. And once you see consistent interest, you can package that into a simple offer, even something as basic as a paid PDF or a mini course, because speed matters more than perfection at this stage. And once you have something to sell, you need a place to sell it, which could be platforms like marketplaces, your own website, or even direct messages if you're just starting, because the goal isn't to look like a massive business. No, it's to make your first sale because that first sale proves everything. It proves your ideas work. It proves people value what you know and it gives you the momentum to improve. And speaking of improvement, your first version will not be perfect and it shouldn't be because the real advantage comes from iteration. You launch, you get feedback, you refine, and you make it better. And this loop continues as long as you're selling. And the people who win in this space are not the ones who wait until everything is polished. They're the ones who start messy and improve fast. Now, and let's talk about the pricing a little bit because this is another area where people hesitate. And the truth is, pricing is less about the amount of content and more about the value of the outcome. If your product helps someone make money and save significant time or solve a painful problem, you can charge more. But if it's more information or broad, it should be priced lower to reduce the friction. And a good strategy is to start lower to get traction and testimonials, then increase your prices as you improve the product and improve its results because social proof is one of the strongest drivers of the sales. People want to see that others have succeeded with what you're offering. So every customer becomes an asset, and you should actively contact feedback, results, and testimonials to use in your marketing. Which brings us to promotion because even the best products won't sell if there's no one to even see it. And this is where content becomes your biggest advantage because instead of running ads right away, you can create organic content that educates and entertains or inspires your audiences while subtly positioning your product as the next step. And this can be done through platforms where attention already exists. And the key is consistency, not virality chasing viral trends because consistent, valuable content builds trust over time. And trust is what converts viewers into buyers. So instead of trying to go viral, focus on being useful every day. Answer questions, break down concepts, and share the insights. And make your content easy to understand because clarity beats complexity every single time. And as your audience grows, so does your opportunity to sell, because you're not just building followers, you're building a group of people who see you as a source of value. And when you offer something that helps them, they're far more likely to buy now. And here's another important piece too, is in differentiation, okay? Because the internet is crowded. And if you sound like everyone else, you're going to get ignored. So if you need to find your angle, your style, or your perspective that makes your content and your product stand out, and this doesn't mean being outrageous, okay? It means being clear about who you're helping and how you're helping them differently. Maybe you simplify things more than others. Maybe you focus on the beginners, or maybe you combine two skills in a unique way, whether it is leaning into it or because being specific attracts attention. And the more specific you are, the easier it is for people to see themselves in your content and your offer. And once you have traction, you can expand. You can create more advanced products, bundle offers, or even build a full ecosystem around your knowledge. But none of that matters if you don't start. And starting is where most people get stuck because they overthink, they doubt themselves, they wait for the perfect moment. But the reality is the market doesn't reward waiting, it rewards the action. And every day you delay is a day someone else steps in and fills that gap. So the best way to do is move. You can make it is to start with what you have. Is the best move. Is start with what you have. Share what you know. Pay attention to what people respond to, and turn that into something you can sell. Because selling knowledge online is not a one-time event. It's a process, a system that you refine over time. And the longer you stay in the game, the better you get at identifying the opportunities, creating value, and converting the value into income. A point where your knowledge becomes an asset that works for you, generating income even when you're not actively working, because digital products can be sold repeatedly without additional effort, which is what makes this model so powerful. But it only works if you treat it like a real business, which means showing up consistently, improving your skills, and focusing on delivering real value to real people, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, helping someone solve a problem, achieve a goal, or make progress. And if you can do that better than most, you will get paid. And not just once, but over and over again. Because people will trust you, recommend you, and come back for more. And that's how you turn knowledge into income. Not by being perfect, but by being useful, consistent, and willing to learn as you go, because the opportunity is already there. The demand is already there. And the only thing missing is you deciding to step in and claim your piece of it. So stop waiting, start sharing, and build something that actually helps people while building something that pays you at the same time. Because that's the game, and it's more accessible now than it has ever been. What means the barrier is not knowledge, it's action. And once you move, everything else starts to fall into place. Thanks for watching today. If you found value in today's video, please subscribe. Without your subscription, I can't move this channel forward, and I desperately need that subscription base if you found value, of course. And I want to see you here. I'd love to see you back on the channel and be able to socialize with you. Comment down below, positive comments. I'm always responding to. I would love to hear from you. Tell me about what's going on in your life. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching today. Also, check out this video on the right. It could also help you on your journey as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.